now it appears he's backpedaling, but I'm ready. And I think the voters deserve to see the split screen that exists in this race on a debate stage. And so I'm ready. Let's go.
Let's go. That was Kamala Harris trying to get Trump to commit to a debate. And while America is bracing for a Trump-Kamala matchup this November, the Trump campaign is still skeptical she will be their pick. Donald Trump has said on Tuesday he has no problem debating Kamala Harris.
If Kamala Harris does end up being the Democrats' nominee, will you commit to debating her at least one time?
Oh, yes, absolutely. I'd want to. I think it's important. But I have at least equal say, and I don't like the idea of ABC. I would be willing to do more than one debate, actually.
But his team will not schedule one until the Democrats officially nominate their candidate. Trump's campaign releasing this statement. Given the continued political chaos surrounding crooked Joe Biden and the Democrat Party, general election debate details cannot be finalized until Democrats formally decide on their nominee. Therefore, it would be inappropriate to schedule things with Harris because Democrats very well could still change their minds. Tommy.
Oh, the Trump campaign has already been put at such a disadvantage because the Democrats staged a coup on their own candidate. And so the Trump campaign had to spend millions of dollars and over a year, 2 years, campaigning against Joe Biden, who they thought was going to be the nominee, who they went through the entire primary process saying that he was going to be their presumptive nominee with the delegates to clinch that nomination. So they wasted all that time and money, and now they're expected to just debate Kamala Harris on her terms with liberal mainstream media. I don't think so. The Trump campaign has every right to step back and say, no, we're going to let this play out. By the way, just a week ago, it was J.D. Vance saying, I'm not going to commit to a debate with Kamala Harris because I don't know who your vice president is going to be. And they scoffed at that. A week later, they have a new presumptive nominee. And also, because of all of the changing out what the Democrats have done to their own ticket, I think Donald Trump and his campaign have every right to say, no, I want it to be on Fox News because you've already put us at such a disadvantage. Now you're going to play maybe more so on my turf. Every right to do it, and he should stick to it.
And Tammy, it reminds me of the pause that the Trump campaign took as the coup was occurring in real time to say, we're going to let them figure it out. And we are not going to take any iota of that attention away from the disaster as it unfolds. And here in the process, respecting the democratic process, something the Democratic Party does not.
Yes, exactly. Now, that was a very smooth decision of Trump's, perhaps one we wouldn't have seen a number of years ago. And that's the appropriate thing. When your opponent is, losing themselves, and effectively he beat Biden at that debate. That's when the presidential election was over. And then they say, oh, no, we need a do-over. And that's what they're doing right now. But it's correct. And, Harris, even in her meeting with Netanyahu and at the speech, is saying things that she cannot do about support for Israel and what she guarantees. She is not the president. She is not even the nominee yet. But everything they're doing, and it's smart, is to try to legitimize her, including getting a commitment to a debate. This could be why Obama went forward and endorsed her, because she moved so quickly to gather up at least the symbols of power.
Yeah, that's a really good point. It's been a coronation. And what we're going to find out in polling after the process of putting the Queen in the temporary seat that potentially becomes president, we're going to see if the seat fits. Because voters are going to decide. They're going to start voting on September 6th, and we'll start to see. What I do find fascinating, though, about this is what Tommy said about, well, when J.D. Vance was not quite on the ticket and so-and-so wanted to and I call them so-and-sos because we've never really known who was going to be on the ticket on the left. We've always known it was ABB, anybody but Biden. We just didn't really know who it would be. So when it was good enough for that argument, why isn't it good enough this time? Why would a former sitting president could be the next president, want to sit with a woman who might not even be on the Democrat ticket? And I agree. Obama jumped in when he did for two reasons. One, it's about money. So now they can really start to fundraise with the Obamas behind them and so on and so forth. But the other is the timing of it all. Look, she really is the nominee. I'm going to do everything. Michelle and I will do everything we can to get her elected.
Yeah, look, Donald Trump is the best person at negotiating. Whether it's on the world terms or dealing with world leaders, but also in this presidential race. You got to agree on a lot of things. You got to agree on the venue. You got to agree on when you're going to do it. You got to, are they going to sit? Are they going to stand? Are they going to do all these other things? So he's doing that right. The reality is Donald Trump kicked Joe Biden's butt. So much so that not only did he win the debate, he defeated the candidate and he had to drop out of the race. And so if they're going to claim that, hey, it had nothing to do with Joe Biden's health, let's take them at their word. It was the fact that he lost on every single policy issue. And so Donald Trump he's right on this. Now let's see if Kamala actually becomes the nominee.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.